SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back, Spartan Nation, where we're going to go around the world of college football with the man, the legend, the way of life. He is the godfather of gossip in Gotham from the Spun.com, the editor, publisher, Grand Poobah, whatever you want to call him. He's it. The great Matt Holadik. Matt, how are you, buddy?
Doing great. I know. Just even better after a full weekend of college football, the first one of this year.
Wasn't it just fun, Matt?
It is. It's just fun to wake up on Saturday. I mean, obviously we had games Thursday and Friday too, but it's fun to wake up on Saturday and just have that anticipation like it's Christmas morning, and there's going to be games all day. Game day's on. There's buzz all over TV and social media, and everyone's excited, and it seems like everyone's kind of watching the games together. It's awesome.
Matt, I'm going to start probably in a place that was going to surprise you a little bit, but Tennessee just got their butt kicked. Your thoughts on it?
I mean, this is the type of loss that I think really makes you look inward and be a little introspective as a program. Obviously, Jeremy Pruitt in his second season there had a couple of nice upset wins last year, but didn't make a bowl game. But this is the type of loss that really makes you say, all right, what's going on here? What do we have to do moving forward to kind of rebound? I mean, this is like bottoming out for a program like Tennessee. We know Tennessee's been struggling for a while. We know they've been trying to get it right with some different coaching hires. But this is bottoming out. Georgia State was a team that went 2-10 last year. You're in Knoxville. You're at home in front of a big crowd, Neyland Stadium. You're supposed to handle this game, and they lost rather convincingly. Like you said, Georgia State took that game. So I think this is the type of thing that you can either go totally spiraling out, or this is the type of event that leads to you kind of bouncing back as a program and starting that climb up. This is really a fork in the road for Tennessee.
Matt, you know that Butch Jones is my best friend. I love Butch. I'm close to Butch. Here's the question I have. Butch Jones consistently had top 10 recruiting classes. He had Tennessee in the top 10, not just in recruiting classes. His last year decimated by injuries. He loses to Vanderbilt, and they're calling for his job. There was a ton of talent on that roster when Jeremy Pruitt, you may remember people said they were going to instantly do really good because he was from Alabama, whatever. Doesn't make a bowl last year, and now they're losing these kind of games. And the national media that hated Butch is supporting him. This is where I get disgusted with the media. If it's going to be the same standard for Butch, it should be the same for Pruitt, shouldn't it?
You would think so, and I do understand that this is only Pruitt's second season, but this is still, I mean, like I said, this is probably, I saw some, noted Tennessee beat writers and media members say this is probably the worst loss in program history. This is just a total bottoming out. I think that the pressure is going to be on him to see how they respond, starting with the BYU game coming up. If they don't bounce back and at least make it to a bowl this year, if there's another 5-7 season and, a loss to Georgia State is one of the reasons why they're not in a bowl, then he is really going to be on Jeremy Pruitt in year 3, because we've seen things can change in a heartbeat. Things can change in an instant in college football. They, the fans could love you one minute and they'll turn on you the next. It's just a what have you done for me lately culture.
All right, what'd you think of Jalen Hurts' post-game interview? It sure made Bama fans excited.
It was funny because it was very Nick Saban-esque. Obviously, Jalen's been around the block a few times as a college player. He knows, all the ins and outs of playing, and he comes from a Nick Saban program. So even though he put on just a tremendous performance against Houston, He was very just, it was good. We got to move on to the next one. Stay focused. A very Nick Saban-esque interview. So I think Alabama fans can definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, they did. I thought it was excellent, didn't you?
I did, and I'll tell you what, I didn't do this intentionally, but I looked, and when I did my preseason predictions a couple of weeks ago, I predicted a Bama Oklahoma college football playoff semifinal again this year. I would love to see that. I would love to see Jalen Hurts go against Alabama, and I don't think there's any, necessarily like a revenge or animosity there. I just think it'll be really fun.
Matt, did you notice during the game they interviewed Jalen's dad? And, I mean, I thought he couldn't have handled it, but, I mean, I thought he was channeling his inner Nick Saban.
Yes, I did. They interviewed him, I think, in around the third quarter or so.
Yep.
So Jalen's already put on a show at that point. And I thought he did a great job, and he was very, sort of businesslike and humble. And, Jalen's handled pretty much every situation that's been thrown at him with the utmost class. And I think that's what's earned him a lot of respect. And I think he's got a lot of people rooting for him throughout college football. And I think it says something, too, when you see, and I know our Alabama readers that follow us that are really interested in what he does, and they are really supportive of him. I think he's a guy who is always going to have the backing of Alabama fans from now until, wherever he goes.
I thought the LSU player's honest assessment of Texas quarterback Sam Ehlinger was interesting.
It certainly is, because on paper, that's going to be the game of week 2 between two top 10 teams. You'll really get an assessment of how good each team is, because you'll see if LSU is good enough to challenge, or how close they are to maybe challenge Alabama, Texas, how close they are to challenge Oklahoma and taking that next step. But Sam Ehlinger played at Austin Westlake High School, and his senior year, or maybe his junior year, he loses in the state title game to North Shore, which had K'Lamon Chasen, who is a stud outside linebacker from LSU, and he was asked about Ehlinger, and he said, I don't really view him as too much of a threat. That's not a knock on him. I'm not trying to take a shot at him, but I see him more as a threat with his legs and with his arm, throwing the ball just the same as high school. And even though he couched that by saying, I'm not trying to take a shot at him, that is a little bit of a, let's be honest, that's putting a guy down, saying that you don't think that a guy who's regarded as a potential Heisman candidate is much of a threat, and you're kind of downplaying his passing ability. So I'll be interested to see how Sam Ehlinger responds and what that will be like on Saturday night in Austin.
I certainly don't think USC was going to challenge for any titles, but boy, big news on JT Daniels, their quarterback.
Brutal. I mean, you never want to hear about a kid, a talented player, going down with a season-ending injury at any point, especially not in week 1. JT Daniels was playing pretty well. USC beats Fresno State, but Clay Helton really has a mountain ahead of him to keep his job this season. Keaton Slovis is the presumed starter now, true freshman. He stepped in. Matt Fink, who's a veteran, is the only other scholarship QB in the roster. It would be interesting if at some point Jack Sears came back, because Jack Sears announced his transfer the other day, but said he's going to stay at USC as a student through the semester to get his undergrad degree so he can grad transfer. But he did say he left it open with Clay Helton and said he would be available if the team needed him. The team could eventually need him at some point with only 2 scholarship QBs on the roster now.
Interesting. All right, what did you think of Shelly Meyer sending a message to Ryan Day and his wife after game 1? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, the Days, the Myers have been very supportive of the Days, whether it's Urban and Ryan Day or Shelly and Ryan's wife, Dina. And Shelly just quote tweeted an Urban tweet saying, the best part about being 1-0, ... And to finish that phrasing off is it's the opportunity to be 2-0. That's a huge Urban Meyerism from his time at Ohio State. He's been saying it for years. And it was just indicative. I thought it was really cool of, Shelly Meyer just reaching out and showing her support for, the Days as a family, because she knows what they're going through now. The pressure of being the Ohio State head coach and being the Ohio State head coach's wife. and she wants them to kind of enjoy that week 1, but also look ahead to week 2 and say, hey, it's an opportunity to string a couple wins together.
Your thought on the Big Ten after 1 week?
I thought that, for the most part, I thought that it was what we expected to see. Obviously, Wisconsin, I thought, probably had the most noteworthy, impressive performance. USF has some talent on that roster, and Wisconsin steamrolled them. Purdue losing that game at Nevada, not a great look in week 1, even though that's a tough place to go on the road. We saw Michigan and Ohio State pretty much took care of business. Michigan State, the defense looks like it might be the best in the country. The offense is jury's still out to see if it'll make its improvements. Penn State put up huge numbers, but we need to see them in some better competition than just against Idaho to see just how that new offensive personnel will work. But overall, I thought that the Big Ten pretty much gave me what I expected in week 1. I think Nebraska will get a really big test this week at Colorado. 35-21, they beat South Alabama. They had some spotty moments in that game. They're favored by, I think, 8 or 8.5 points at Colorado. That might be a little steep. Colorado played pretty well in Milker, beating Colorado State. But you'll learn a lot about Nebraska in that game. So I'm looking forward to week 2 in the Big Ten.
Matt, just one more question from me. Michigan State fans not happy with that offense, and nor should they be. Were you stunned at how, again, anemic and pathetic the Michigan State offense was?
I like everybody, I thought that I had to wait and see what the offense looked like before I really labeled them a contender in the Big Ten just yet. I knew that the defense is the reason why they're a top 15, top 20 program. It's going to keep them in every game, and it's going to win them a lot of games. But I do understand the fan frustration when you see the struggles that they had. They have some players there. Brian Lurkey, he's back. He dealt with health issues all last year. You'll see the next 2 weeks, Western Michigan, Arizona State should be a decent test. You'll see if they can eventually get something going and get something clicking. But I totally get the frustration with Spartan fans after week 1 because it did look like a lot of more of the same from 2018.
He is Matt Haletic from thespun.com, going around the world of college football.